Now, speaking of Megan Good, she put up some wonderful posts about the late Jim Brown, the football player turned actor turned social activist. She said that he was her godfather. Jim Brown died over the weekend. His wife made the announcement about him. He was 87 years old. Still don't know quite what happened. When you tell the story of Jim Brown, I'm sorry, he had a problem with putting his hands on women. And that's not cool. I don't care how much you like that person, that athlete, that actor, that it's a problem. Thank you, Warren. Because I think a lot of people are mad at me after this report. If you have a problem with women and putting your hands on women, that's hard. And, I did a tribute. He was a great football player and an outstanding career with the Browns. His acting, his social activism, and he helped a lot of people and maybe putting them on the right path. But there was the other side of this man, and he stayed in trouble for putting his hands on women. You should Google him. Google him. Someone said, I didn't know that. Well, Google him and that story will come out. When a man has a problem, even a woman has a problem, putting her hands on a man, that's not good. Now, maybe, he got older. He changed. He 87. Who he in 87? But, yes, people are celebrating him and mourning his life, but we cannot act like the women beating didn't happen. Because it did. And I bring that up because so many women suffer abuse. They don't talk about it. And it's not good. It's not cool. It's not. It's not cool. Both ways. Even if women out here beating on men. So just had to bring that up.
James Brown, commonly known as Jim Brown, was born in St. Simon's Island, Georgia. His father was, by the way, a very big professional boxer, and he graduated at Syracuse University with a Bachelor of Arts in 1957. While at Syracuse, he played football, lacrosse, basketball, rain track, and so many other sports. So this is a man who was legendary, and he actually started during his youthful years as an athlete, but of course he was later selected to the Pro Bowl every year from 1957 to 65. And according to reports, and even, by the way, he said this in a couple of interviews, that in 1957 he was the NFL Rookie of the Year, and he was, by the way, even voted by several organizations as well as the NFL and MVP. He was also, by the way, named as an MVP in 1958, 63, and also 65 before being inducted into the Halls of Fame Pro Football in 1971. So he was really very much talented before actually looking through or looking into his career with regards to film and also politics, activism, and stuff like that. He was a very huge talent with regards to football in the NFL. So in the 9 extraordinary seasons as a fullback with the Cleveland Browns, Brown set an array of NFL records, and in 2002, the Sporting News named him the greatest professional football player ever. Like I've told you, you don't win such an award when you're not that good. He was very, very talented. But of course, it surprised so many people when he announced his early retirement to enter into movies and activism. It was his passion, because he said this in a couple of interviews, that I always wanted to be involved in movies, acting, activism, and stuff like that. So he wasn't this sort of modern day athletes whom we just see coming out, doing their thing with regards to sports, not talking about the issues affecting society, not talking about the issues that are affecting their communities where they're coming from. So he was not that sort of player. So he gave away his career in the NFL, later started activism, entered into acting with actually he even collaborated with a couple of stars during that time, and he made so many movies. A case in point, Slaughter, Bird Captain in Vietnam, The Grasshopper, and so many others. Looking through his biography, still they say that despite the strength and cast of Robert Aldrich's 1967 World War II film The Dirty Dozen, a tribute to the enlisted man that starred Lee Marvin, Brown was fourth billed. An enormous commercial success, the film raised fortunes of everyone involved, including Brown himself. So when he entered into the acting genre and stuff like that, he collaborated with a couple of stars, the likes of Sidney Poitier, Sammy Davis Jr., Bill Cosby, and so many others. So his acting was also a success. He just did not enter into the thing and be like, you know what, let me do this for a part-time. He was so serious with the craft, and his success can be seen in the so many movies he involved in, and themselves were also a commercial success. The wife just came out today on Instagram, that is Mrs. Monique Brown, and actually announced the news of his passing on. In a very touching statement, she said that on behalf of the entire family, I announce the passing on of the legendary sportsman, that is Brown, Mr. Brown. He passed away, and in this moment in time, we request for privacy as we are still going through and process this very tough situation. In this moment in time also, I want to send my condolences to the family, friends, and even the fans who were really touched by the works of Mr. Brown. Rest in power the king, Mr. Jim Brown.